Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. Let me check my volume. I've done a similar video like this before, but I feel like we're being gaslighted. So I kind of want to say something about it. I feel like we're being sold a bill of goods. Not just me. I feel like it's being sold across the spectrum, and I think this is bogus. And maybe I'm misunderstanding something in my perception of this. And so I'm doing this video live, in which case somebody can say, yeah, dude, you misunderstood something, and correct me in my wrongness. I hope everyone is doing okay. Saturday morning, yes, I'm doing shows. I couldn't sleep. I was up all night. And I ended up just saying, screw it. Let's have some fun. The compromise. The superdelegate compromise. The quote-unquote big step forward. I mean, after all, CNN, the most trusted name in not news, has just told me that, look at this. Democrats take big step towards a smaller role for superdelegates. Superdelegates, they have an S on their chest. Comment calls a major step towards making Democratic Party more democratic. DNC votes to roll back the power of superdelegates. All right, hot damn. We're doing some shit now. Democratic Committee votes to limit the power of superdelegates. All right, good. Democrats pledge to reduce the perceived influence of superdelegates. And I like this one. The perceived influence. Who do you think crafted that language? Implicit in the language that's being crafted here is that there's no influence. You guys think there's an influence. You guys perceive an influence. It's not actually there. And as a political compromise, we will lean on that and not agree with you that they have an influence. We would just say they're perceived. And then you move on. And then you get all of a sudden rules and bylaws. And everybody else is saying major step, big change. Big shit is taking place. Everybody's celebrating. Yes! We're in the sun! They changed the superdelegates! They changed the superdelegates. We're taking our fucking shirts off and we're running hand in hand with women showing their tits in the breeze. Everybody is great. The world is lovely. But for the moment, before we do that, go running out in the sun in that way, in this kind of hedonist way, what has fundamentally been changed? What is the big change? What is the big step that people are talking about? I'm fundamentally missing this. Yes, I understand this idea that superdelegates won't be used in the first round of voting. Okay. But many of these, the last time things went to the second round, I think was like 1952. That's the first point. The second point is, just because it's not used in the first round, superdelegates still exist. And those superdelegates, as far as I can tell, haven't been lessened, haven't been gotten rid of, haven't been decreased. And in the second round of voting, they can do whatever they want and vote for the person who they would have voted for prior. Apply that reasoning to the last election. What would have changed? In fact, what would have changed? Nothing. Nothing would have changed. These people are here celebrating. What changes in the last election? Assume for the moment that the rule set was in place during the last election. All right, fair enough. Do you believe that the media would not have gone around and asked people who are superdelegates who you were going to vote for and have you made a choice? Do you believe that Hillary Clinton would not have locked up that vote in the same way she locked up the vote this time around? Just to put it in perspective, she won the vote 544.5 superdelegates to Sanders 44.5. She locked up the vote. Part of the way they locked up the vote is with this idea that money will be moving back and forth, this kind of money laundering thing. Not to mention, it was Clinton. She was part of the machine. And all, hell and thunder would rain upon the person if they did not bend to her will. Well, she lost. She lost. My point to this is that what took place in the primaries would not have changed under the model to which they pass. The number of superdelegates will still be in place. Those superdelegates who still would have promised their vote to Clinton. and in those votes being promised to Clinton, the media still would have went out and said, hey, I know you can't vote in the first round, but who are you going to vote for in the second round? Tell us. Who? And they would have said Clinton, and they would have said, all right, this person says they're going to vote for Hillary Clinton. Let's mark 1 on the bar. And they would have went around and asked each one. And they would have said, all right, Hillary Clinton has this much of a lead. It would have still been factored in. They may have explained to their audience in a blurb that, hey, these people can't vote for the second round. But if nobody clinches it in the first round, these people will get the capacity to vote. And it seems like nobody in this race is going to be able to win it on the first round. So who are you going to vote for in the second round? Nothing changes. Nothing has changed. This seems like utter gaslighting. In fact, don't take my word for it. Take it from one of the guys who was in a meeting who disagreed with this. And his point makes all the sense in the world because he's right. Don Fowler, the former DNC chair who has been with the DNC when superdelegates were created after the 1980 election, firmly opposed the decision. I find it a little ludicrous to take seriously the notion that if the majority is attained on the first ballot, then the automatic delegate will get the chance to vote for something that will be truly meaningless. Think about what he's saying, because what he's saying is right. As far as I understand, with everything that I've read, unless all of these stories are just fundamentally missing, the superdelegates not being diminished, if in the first round of voting, superdelegates can't vote. Fair enough. First round of voting, superdelegates can't vote. Unless one of the people clinches it. So let's say Clinton or Sanders gets enough votes in order to clinch it, then superdelegates can vote. Well, at that point, their vote is meaningless. It's a superfluous vote. Completely perfunctory. You can vote for Hillary Clinton all that you want with this 400 stuff. It doesn't matter. Sanders or Clinton has already clinched it. Now, if nobody clinches it and you go into the second round, then superdelegates can make their vote. But I don't see how that's fundamentally different than superdelegates voting on the first round. I guess I understand that there's a change there. I guess I'm making the point that that change seems superfluous. That's all I'm saying. It seems rather meaningless. Let's keep going. If you take one vote, well, this is him going into this idea of the members being able to vote on the first round. Look, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. If my audience is here and they can correct me on this, let me know. Let me know. It would have been huge because it would have been harder to count them. As it was, they were counted before the primaries even started. That said, it's still not good to have them. No. Why is it harder to count them? I don't understand. Are you telling me that the media wouldn't know who the superdelegates are? The superdelegates are still available. They're still for them to see. The media can still stick a microphone in their face. How is that harder for them to record? The moment that it looks like the primary is not going to be decided, just like this one wasn't decided, hey, who are you going to vote for if it goes to a second vote? Even before it starts, who are you going to vote for if it goes to second vote? Do you believe that Hillary Clinton wouldn't have known who was going to be potentially the person who they needed to contact before it gets to a second vote? I don't see how this fundamentally changes things. Do you remember when this first started, by the way? The thing that was first put out was this. Right here. The Democratic National Committee voted Saturday to acknowledge the need to reduce the influence of so-called superdelegates in the presidential primary, while a decision on specific changes to the role such delegates will play in 2020 won't come until this summer. Let's see. Where is it? Right here. The DNC Rules and Bylaws had been discussing a proposal drafted by the Unity Reform Commission that was created after the 2016 primary battle. The commission had said it wanted to reduce the number of delegates by 60%. Look, we want to de-rig it by 60%. We want to de-rig it by 60%. But the Rules and Bylaws Committee suggested it might do even more. So, in one case, we're saying, look, let's get rid of 60% of the superdelegates. And in another case, we're keeping all of the superdelegates, but they're not going to be able to vote in the first round. Which one is better? Rigging it 60% less, or keeping the rigging 100% but not letting them do it on the first round? I feel I am being gaslighted. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make. I don't understand. What am I missing? Am I like, is this just me missing this? Nothing has changed. None of the super... Do you know, I watched Nomi have a conversation with Sam Cedar. Sam Cedar was like, yeah, I thought, this was largely not a big deal and all this other stuff. Part of the big deal here is, yeah, I agree that you allow one person to build up a lead before any of the votes were cast. But here's the thing. The superdelegate vote wasn't counted until the primaries anyway, until the convention anyway. The media was recording all of these delegate votes when the people didn't even vote until it got to the end. Understand what I mean? The media understood that nobody made those votes until they got to the convention, but they were adding those votes to the process anyway. How is that materially different than what this is? What stops the media from doing the exact same thing? Hey, we're taking this tally just in case nobody wins the primary. And the closer it gets to the end of the process, and the closer it gets to realizing there's nobody that's going to win this outright. Are you telling me that the media is not going to start going around and asking people, who are you voting for, who are you voting for, who are you voting for? What stops them from doing it in the beginning? I am saying to you, I understand that they're trying to create a bulwark to prevent the media from going about this thing of recording superdelegate votes during the process. How does this stop that? And why is everybody telling me this is a big deal when the superdelegates still have their votes? The original premise was we were going to get rid of 60% of the superdelegates. We're not doing that now. Now, or not we, but they are keeping the superdelegates, and they're selling this to people that this is a win because the first round is not going to be counted. I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe I'm missing this. But I'm not seeing. I don't see it. I don't see it. Superdelegates should be treated like a jury and not allowed to speak to the media. Kimberly Schwank. Mersey Dizzy. I agree with you. The second vote could come into play to be misreported, but it probably won't. Look, it's not the second vote thing. To come into play. They're selling this to me as a win. They're acting as if the lefties have won. Look at what we've done for the superdelegates. Aren't you happy and content? Look at Bernie Sanders saying it. Look at Nomiki Kant saying it. Look at all these people celebrating. Glorious in the sunlight. And it's like, but wait a minute. You haven't gotten rid of any of the superdelegates. Yeah, but if you haven't got rid of any of the superdelegates, and you're doing all of this because of what took place in 2016, I hate to tell you, but under this model, nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed. The original concept was supposed to be a bulwark against Donald Trump's chance as a candidate. F the DNC, Kimberly Schwank. Look, again, if I'm missing something on this, write it at the bottom. I'm not going to keep this video all that long because I have other videos to get to. Don't sell me something as a win when it seems modest. And it's odd way where it seems like all of these people are colluding to come out with a concise story that they want to present to everybody. All of these members of the Democratic Party, or all these people who function with the Democratic Party, who are trying to come up with this one narrative that they sell to the public that says, look, these people weren't willing to give up their superdelegates, but we need to sell this as if it's a win for both sides because we need to piece together the party to go against Donald Trump. I would wager anything that that's more likely to be the truth than anything else. The superdelegates haven't gone anywhere. They were talking about reducing 60%. They're still there. And this idea of saying, well, we're just going to get rid of them from the first vote is utterly ludicrous. So what? So what? They're still there for the second vote. So what? Just saying. This seems like nonsense. And all of these people are jumping around in one talk show after the next, trying to sell this stuff. Be honest with it. This is not a win. This is not an anything. This is not anything. So I'm going to end this here. If I am wrong on this, put me at the bottom, put me straight. But I don't see it.